Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the SavSocial912 Podcast. I'm your host, Missy, and I'm here with some members of the House of Covenant. And I have Gwen Gotti, and then I have Amara Fiera. And you guys are going to talk to me about some things you have going on at Club1, specifically the show leading up to Mother's Day. Or past Mother's Day.
This is our first Club1 debut.
Yeah.
It's our first Club1 big show that we're doing, and we had the idea of just doing like a Mother's Day themed show. It's called Who's Your Mommy? A Mother's Day Cabaret. The theme is taking the term mother and just kind of basing, numbers on mother figures, your cartoon moms, someone's doing like Mother Nature, Motherland, and just having fun with it.
Yeah, I love that. I think it's very like a cool idea for that specific holiday because there are many iconic mothers in TV and media and all of that. So before we dive into the full details, can you give me a little background on how you guys came together as another house in Savannah? I'm learning all about it. I had the House of Color.
Yes, the history of the House Darling.
Yes.
So the House Covenant started, I can't believe it's been a year and a half when we've been doing stuff. It's crazy. I started out with three of my friends. We had myself, Sybil Nix, Samaj Chanel, and Janelle Aquamoon. The four of us were kind of like friends that kind of came together, just doing weird, kind of crazy, stupid stuff. And the four of us were just hanging out one night. We decided, why not make this like a group? And Sybil was kind of the one to kind of put it together and name it the House Covenant. And then we started working with like newer queens around the scene because we wanted the house to kind of be sort of a celebration of people that were like maybe not getting as much limelight in the scene because the drag scene can be very
competitive,
yes. Cutthroat. It can be like certain queens get sort of on a pedestal more than other styles, and we were always kind of like underdogs, and we kind of wanted to like. We're the house of underdogs, if you really think
For sure.
I love that. Everybody loves a JV story.
Right.
Exactly.
Become mainstream. So I love that you guys came together with that. So where are you performing around town? Because this is your first Club1 show.
Yeah, we've been doing stuff at Black Rabbit for a while now. That's kind of was the first place to give us like a space to do our own little thing. We've done stuff at Huckapoo's. We do like a pride show every year with them. Bogey's Pup Pup Bar and Grill. We also do a pride show with them as Pride Month is coming up. We already got to figure out like where we're going to fit all these shows and how we're going to get those lined up together. And it's always a good time with them.
Yeah. So how many shows do you normally do for Pride Month? Because I know that's like huge happening downtown, huge happenings in Starland.
I think it's going to be, it's probably going to be like 3 or 4 of that month alone. And then not to mention, I think some of us are also doing like, they have a block party. I think some of us are down for that.
Where's the block party?
Oh, the block party is going to be Starland Yard. I think it's going to be June 28th.
Okay.
Starland Yard, that little area right there.
Exciting. Yeah. So when you guys are doing these events, I know like getting into character and costume is a big thing. So like, do you have different looks for each one or like?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I have some very distinct different drag looks. So I have one look that I use when I'm very much like going as myself, which I have a green face because I'm very like alien, mythical type looking. And then if I'm ever doing like a character or like I'm doing kind of a pop song, maybe like a Chapel Roan moment, then I do just like a regular skin tone face. So it's kind of reading the room. It's kind of knowing your audience and like who's going to be there, what they're looking for.
Yeah. And I think being different puts you very far in, the community and all that. Or I just think like the drag scene, I'm only saying this because I had friends like 10 years ago in it. Back in the day, it was very like pageantry and all of the queens were like trying to look like passable women. And like one of my friends tried to be very different. His name's Bitch Pudding. He was in the House of God.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
See, not you name dropping one of our heroes.
Steven. Oh, I love it. Because like,
oh my God.
So we were friends in school and I remember like he would perform at Chuck's and he literally was like Hot Mess Express. Like, or, and he was like, I'm playing a character and I am being ratchet. Like that's what being Bitch Pudding is all about. And then to see him like go and win Dragula years later,
I was screaming at the top of my lungs because I was a fan of Bitch Pudding like when I first moved into like to Savannah because I went to school at Armstrong State, RIP. It's now Georgia Southern. And Bitch Pudding was like one of my heroes, and I met her, and she follows me on Insta. That's my one of my claim to fame.
It's a flex,
and she's literally like first of all, she's a great performer. And if you don't know Bitch Pudding, y'all need to know Bitch Pudding.
Yes,
For real.
Not only is she a great performer, but she is like one of the nicest, coolest people you will ever meet in your entire life.
And I know like a huge part of her origin story with getting established in Savannah was that like all the other queens were like, you're crazy. You have to be pretty and presentational. And, you know, she ran with it, and then she took over like Atlanta, and then now is like performing all over the world, which is amazing. Or, you know, it's very cool to see someone from Savannah spreading their wings and thriving.
Yeah.
So
she definitely like pioneered, I think, a Savannah drag like subcategory.
I think
because I think a lot of people came out of the woodwork after her and being like, oh, we can do this. Like we can be different. I grew up knowing her. Like I followed her in high school when I started drag. So
oh my god,
yeah.
I love that. I
It's
feel
really
like I'm
interesting.
later and be like you impacted
It's
so
like,
many people's
it's like
lives.
it's like you met two people that like, you know, looked up to you. And it's,
Yeah, no, that's fantastic. And I think that once again, this supports the whole like being different can really set you far. And so I love that you guys are exploring that in your own ways. So who are you going to dress up as for the Mothers event? Let's get to the real part of the event. So this is going to be May 15th.
May 15th
At Club 1.
At Club 1. Tickets
Okay.
are now online. You can go to club1-online.com. Sorry, I'm terrible at plugging this stuff.
-online.com. Perfect.
And it's going to be it's $10 for general admission, $15 for VIP. Doors open at 8:30. It's a 9:00 show. I am doing one of my top 3 favorite mothers in all of history, Linda Belcher from Bob's Burgers.
Yes. Oh my god. Bobby.
She to me is just what I feel like a mom should be, like someone who's supportive, someone who just loves her husband, loves her children, loves the life she has. And it's the fact is it's such a simple life. She has such a simple life, but she just finds so much joy in just like the little things.
Oh my god, she's literally
Like she's
one of
literally everything.
the most comical people. Okay, that is notable. Can't wait to see that. And who are you going to dress up as?
I'm doing Mother Mary.
Okay.
I grew up fiercely Catholic. And so I like to connect to that sometimes because Catholicism is very opulent and gorgeous. So I'm putting a little drag spin on it. It's going to be fun.
Love it. And so for people who are not clear between like drag and cabaret and like burlesque, so when you guys are doing drag, it's just like a lip syncing number, right? You're not like taking layers of your costume off.
It's kind of a fine line because I feel like drag and burlesque are so intertwined. Like they are one and the same. If you will. They're kind of two sides of the same coin.
Especially in Savannah.
I think the difference is just the style of performance. I think also just like the makeup, like some burlesque artists, sometimes they will do like the big drag face, the big drag makeup, and some of them just are doing more like something very subtle, very just kind of in the moment. And also I think burlesque tends to be like more choreographed. Because sometimes with numbers, sometimes we're just like winging it out there. Half the time,
it's improv,
half the time, that's like our best numbers. We just wing it and we just like come up with stuff on the spot. But with burlesque, like they have, okay, this is the point where I have to take out this. This is the part where this has to come off.
Yeah, calculating many layers.
Exactly, and which to me, I've because I work with burlesque people, I feel like burlesque is a lot harder and very harder a scene to be in and then drag. So a shout out to our burlesque performers because we understand that work.
Yes. And I saw the Assembly of Phantasms did Alice in Wonderland. I brought my friend who had no context as to what burlesque was. And then all of a sudden, like, you know, Alice is just like ripping her corset off with Adrian, and he was like, "Is there a plot to this?"
Right.
Or anyway, I really rocked his world.
No, and it really is all about the tease. That's what burlesque is about, like the tease and the anticipation, as you know, people say. And like I've met so many of them. Like I myself am not a subtle person at all. Like I get on stage and I just act like a fucking fool. But
Same.
you know, these people just have mastered the ability of being so sensual and being so like one with their body. And I'm not, and we're just like,
Yeah, exactly. Just going. So what songs are you guys performing, if you can share? I don't want to like spoil the whole thing. But.
You know, we can't tell all of our secrets. I will just say the mix is going to be the right amount of funny and stupid. That's all I will say.
Good. And are there any other notable mother characters?
Yes. Oh my gosh. So, my drag mother, Blair Williams, who is a former Miss Gay America, one of the biggest titles you can win.
Oh my god.
In the drag scene.
Wait, what's that?
Should we get into that? Miss Gay America is a drag pageant that was started, I want to say like 1960s or so.
1,000 years ago.
Yeah, the 1945.
Oh my gosh,
yeah.
ancient.
All the times of back of Mary Mother. Yes, it was started back a while, and it was kind of like the way for because pageants, they weren't really allowed gay people or trans people kind of in that world, and so Miss Gay America was kind of the way for people to like queer people to like have that moment and she won, and it's actually this year will be 10 years. 2015 is her 10th year anniversary.
Oh my gosh.
And Blair is like, she's my drag mother, and little education for those that don't know, a drag mother is kind of someone who is usually more, not always, but an older veteran queen who takes more of like a younger experienced queen, not as experienced queen,
like a mentor,
like a mentor,
right?
And she is literally like one of the most welcoming, warm people you will ever meet in your life. So if you want to go to Club 1 and see Blair Jones perform, it's amazing.
Yeah,
yes, for
she's
sure.
doing the PTA Harper Valley, that 1980s movie.
Oh yeah. That's exciting.
Yeah.
Who else is in the show? Oh, we have Janelle, who's doing a Mother Gothel from Tangled inspired number.
Oh my goodness.
We have Sama Chanel, who's doing Daenerys Targaryen, Mother of Dragons from Game of Thrones.
Dude, the puns are killing me here. Well, I love how you guys took like a really simple theme, or like that week of Mother's Day, and are turning it into something really fun and versatile. I keep on kind of gravitating towards interviewing people doing events at Club 1, just because I feel like there's no like hardcore theater scene in Savannah, and I love how you guys are able to like meet and do a show and have like a different set, different costume, like that variety is there, where it's not just like you're performing the same thing for months at a time. It's like always fresh and different and innovative. So I'm really encouraging my viewers to take a chance and go to Club 1. The drag shows are amazing. I've learned all about burlesque and cabaret and all that. So before we come to a close, I just want to ask a few questions about performing at the Black Rabbit, because that was something I didn't know they had like the space for. No pun intended. It's a very small dive bar off the park. But so how does that work? Like, where do you set up your space, or is it like interactive?
It's definitely interesting. It's a little bit different because it is so small. Like, I've been asked, like, how do you even perform in there? But we end up using their back patio as like our backstage area.
Got it.
And then you kind of just make do with what you have. Like, you have the little walkway between like the bar and where everybody's sitting. So that's a good chance to do a little like runway moment. And then at our most recent show, I actually stepped outside and started performing in the sidewalk and like through the windows and all that. So it's just like, it's learning your space, knowing your space, and kind of knowing how to like improvise, be quick on your feet.
Any other like drag wisdom? Learn your space. I heard wear a safety thong for burlesque.
Yes. Yes.
For anybody out there, I mean, like anybody out there that wants to get into the art of drag or burlesque, or I would say just know the space, learn your words. Take time to kind of perfect your craft. Don't come into it like thinking like this is the way I have to do it, because there's going to be people who may feel like, hey, maybe you should try like that. Like don't have so much of an ego. Like let that wall down, let people in, let them critique you, let them, even if people like give you a light read, kind of be like, maybe I should bring my brows down a little.
For real.
Lower.
Reading comes from love.
Exactly. And like, even if someone just leaves you a nasty comment, kind of take the truth of what they're saying and be like, maybe if I did this, I was like, okay, well, maybe they were right. Because it's just something I've had to learn myself because. And
have you guys ever done like Star Search or anything?
Yes.
So that's a big, tell me more.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
No, that's where. This July will be actually coming on my 6-year anniversary since my very first Star Search, and it took me. And Star Search and I have always had a very complicated relationship.
Sure,
everybody has a complicated relationship with Star Search.
Like Savannah's Got Talent,
right?
It kind of
there's
is.
been nights where I felt like why wasn't I in the top 3? Why didn't win? And I think it took. And when I finally did win, like last August, I think it was that moment of like, you know what. I think this is why it took me this long, because that night I was just, I think I needed to come into myself and needed to kind of know, like, learn my style, my kind of drag, my kind of like what the audience loves about me, which is me just getting up there and acting a fucking fool.
Yes.
Yeah. And this one over here has been improving a lot with her Star Searches.
You could say that.
So I think, how many have you done?
Oh God, I don't even know.
Oh, I'm just learning. So I'm like, there's been like tens of hundreds of them.
I've been doing it since October of 23. And so I don't remember how many I've done.
So you're like almost 3 years into it.
Yeah, we'll say that.
Okay.
But yeah, I think when I started doing Star Search, I very much like watered down my persona a lot because like it was my first time on the Club1 stage and I didn't know what to expect. And so I went out there in like a blonde wig and a pink outfit and did like WAP and Fabulous from High School Musical. And even though it had a sense of myself, it wasn't fully myself. And it took my partner, Dahlia Mordor, for dating.
Fabulous name.
To kind of like help me get back out of my shell in the Savannah scene. And so I've recently started doing stuff that it's just like, this is what I want to do. And so I'm going to do it at Star Search and we'll see what happens. I think like drag very much has to come from the heart. And like, you can't be performing for what you expect people to want. You just have to want it yourself.
Yes. I think we can come full circle with bitch pudding as an example.
Yes.
Where like, I think we're living in the age of authenticity, whether it's like performance or like social media or whatever, where it's like, if you are truly you, there's like nothing more powerful than your authentic self. So I'm really glad you're like on that journey.
Yes.
And learning, probably with some really cool costumes and awesome music.
Maybe a little bit.
Great. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing you guys. I'm going to echo this back that it's called the Mother Show.
Yes.
So,
It's got Who's Your Mommy? A Mother's Day Cabaret.
A Mother's Day Cabaret. Okay. So Who's Your Mommy is going to be May 15th at 8:30?
At 9 o'clock. Well, 8:30.
Well, it starts at 9, but get there at 8:30?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And you can buy tickets on the Club1 website. And how can we follow you guys? Like if anyone's interested.
Yes, definitely. We can follow us on our main pages or the House Coven Instagram. I mean, mine is really just Amara_Fiera. And then
I'm Gwen.Gotti.
Great. And I'm SavSocial912. Thanks for listening. And you guys can follow us next week for more events that are happening in the Savannah area. But I'm very excited to see your show. So
Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks for coming on, guys. And
thank you for having us.
Stay social, Savannah.
Stay social.
Bye.